Tell me you're an awful person without telling me you're an awful person. Today we're going to be looking at some horrible people.
Here's how I found out that my best friend of 12 years was a fake friend.
12 years?
Yeah, it basically
Wow.
all started in high school. I used to have like a small following on Instagram and I used to get bullied for it. The girls were literally so horrible to me. Like, they used to call me by my username, make fake accounts, like, just be. And even though I love this friend and she had my back, her support was very conditional. Like, when we were alone together, it was fine. And then when we were around, like, the group of girls who hated me, like, she would almost, like, low-key sneak diss me.
I've actually experienced something very similar to that. Whenever I was in school, if I was one-on-one with a guy, we got on amazingly. If they were in a group, they would completely change and just be horrible to me.
Back then, I really didn't have much of a following, like, at all. And I don't really know why girls hated me, and that's beyond the point.
Jealousy.
Never really celebrated any of my success, and it low-key hurt. We would never really talk unless it was convenient for her, and every time I asked to hang out, like, she wouldn't even let me make plans. She would just say no. Fast forward to years later, I'm like, you know what? She's still my childhood best friend, and I want to invite her to my birthday. This one, like, actually hurt because I was like, hey, like, my birthday's coming up. I wanted to invite you. Would you come? And she was like, I can't. I have another friend's birthday. Didn't even let me tell her what day it was. So I was like, that's fishy. So at that point, I was like, okay, you see all of my stories. You've been, seeing all of my success. You haven't once congratulated me for anything. And every time I made plans, she literally wouldn't even let me talk. She would just turn it down right away. So I just knew it was done. So after the whole birthday thing, we legit didn't speak for probably 6 months. So I finally hear from her. It was on a date that I had a presentation, and I see my phone ringing, and I'm like, this is odd. And then she's like, you're such a fake. Like, why aren't you picking up? Like, bro, I'm literally presenting. And now I'm like, okay, she probably misses me. Wrong. This girl proceeds to tell me that someone she knows is a fan of me and watches my videos, which is very sweet, and I appreciate it. But it was just wrong timing. Like, we haven't spoken in 6 months. You've never, like, clapped for any of my achievements, but now this is how you want to call me for brownie points? So I told her that. I was like, listen, we haven't spoken in like 6 months, and this is how you're gonna call me? Like, no, how are you? How have you been? And now we are fighting because she can never just take an opinion. She starts blowing up my phone, and I'm like, listen, I'm on a date. Like, my boyfriend really planned out a date. I can't talk to you right now. And now I'm ruining the date and arguing with her on the phone. And I was super busy with life. Like, you ignore me for 6 months, and I'm just not about to put everything on pause and figure out this petty issue. And she very clearly didn't like that, so she unfollowed me on everything, and that's fine. Like, babe, it's not like you really wanted to see my post anyways, so it's good. So ladies, I don't know who needs to hear this, but a friend who doesn't applaud for you really isn't a friend. The whole situation is really unfortunate because I literally saw her as family. Like, I supported her, loved her, cared for her. Like, she was really my sister. I have a bad habit of letting, like, quantity hold me back from cutting off people because I'm like, oh, it's been 12 years. But anyways, it is what it is, and I'm not going to beg anyone who doesn't have true intentions and doesn't genuinely love me to be in my life.
Let's be completely honest, it really sucks whenever you have to cut off a long-term friend. She was best friends with that person for 12 years. That's like long. That's a big portion of your life. I also find it quite interesting how she had to go at you for being famous in social media. Yet whenever somebody was a fan of you, she was kind of flexing that she knew you. It's quite interesting because yet again, I've been through that. Whenever I was in school, I was a social media kid. Like, I think on my main channel, at the time I had 100,000 subscribers. It was whenever I first blew up my other channel, and basically everyone had to go at me for it. Because back then, doing social media wasn't a cool thing, it was an embarrassing thing. However, now kids want to be famous in social media. Like, that's literally their dream job. And it's so interesting how for me, it was seen as embarrassing, but now it's seen as cool. It's weird how times have changed, hasn't it? I'm sorry for your experience. Also, why is this so important, social media and followers? This stuff is so annoying. To bully someone for that, it's just sad. To this day, I still can't understand why girls felt the need to bully me for something so stupid. People get so caught up with numbers, it's sad. They probably done it because they loathed it. Like, that's what happened to me. There was a kid in my old school who, like, had an issue that I had followers on social media. Like, they just made it the main topic of every single conversation for some reason. And then 2 years after I left the school, I looked them up and they had their own channel and they were basically doing the exact same videos as me. So it kind of made me think that they were secretly very, very jealous that I was finding success, but they weren't. At that time, I think my videos were getting like 50-60,000 views per video on my main channel. They were getting like 20 views. And it's quite interesting. It's like they'll have a go at you for something, but then they'll do the same thing and fail.
I keep seeing story times of people talking about friends that secretly hated them. So I was like, you know what? I've had some pretty friends, and I'm going to use this as a therapy moment. She's just one of them people that's like always has to one-up you. Like, you can tell them that you're going through something, they will try to be like, oh, well, this is happening to me right now, or like, I've been through worse, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, your problems are not that big, like, it's not an issue. And they would never be happy for you if something good happened, because they would follow it on with something sad and just let the mood down.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on people like that. I cannot stand it whenever people have to make a happy situation sad. You know, just be happy for once, stop being a Debbie Downer.
And you're just like, what the f***? I would always get told how toxic this person is, but just ignore it. Her birthday weekend, keep in mind, my birthday is like 2 days after her birthday. So I spent the whole weekend to try, or like the whole week to try and make her birthday the best birthday ever, because she was always in my ear. Shit, her birthday has always been in the past. Her friends never give a her birthday, her family, just that victim blaming mentality. Like
Maybe there's a
everyone else
reason
is
for
wrong
that.
and she's always the victim. And she also planned to go out on the weekend, 3 nights in a row, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Out of the 3, I didn't go out one night. I was like, look, I cannot go out again because 1, I've just spent basically all of my money on you for your birthday. So I kind of want to save for my own birthday and like just mentally prepare myself for my birthday. This is insane, right? And instead of her coming to me like an adult and telling me what I've done wrong, I forgot to say when we were out and I had to leave because my sister was leaving and she was my way home, I told her that. And from that moment on, I literally said to her, I'm going to leave in the next half an hour. She ignored me the whole time that I was there because I said I needed to go home. And if I didn't go home with my sister, I would not have a way home. And obviously on your private Instagram, you post whatever that's on your mind, whether it's negative or positive, but it should not be negative consistently. Like the whole page was just negativity. She would even go as far as like removing her friends on that Instagram so she can talk about them. But anyway, she posted on there, this birthday has been worst birthday I've ever had in my life. It's going down as one of my suppressed memories. I was like, what the f-? And all her friends literally messaged me. They were like, what the f- happened to her last night? Or like, what the f-? Why is she posting that? And I was like, honestly, I don't know what to her because I tried to make her birthday the best that I could. And just seeing that post was like a slap in the face. And her friend was like, honestly, I'm not surprised by it because she does like that all of the time. Like she just wants people to feel sorry for her all the time. And honestly, after that friendship was over, I felt relieved to not be friends with her anymore. Like I just felt like the biggest weight lifted off my shoulders. And that says a lot. I've run out of time, so let me know if you want a part 2 because there's so much I want to say.
I wasn't able to find part 2, however, friends like that are basically like being constipated. There's a big poo inside you want to push out, you want to release it, but you struggle to, and then whenever you finally get it out, you feel amazing. That's basically her friend. Those types of friends are the actual worst, and they're hardest to get rid of. Like, they'll literally manipulate you and guilt trip you and gaslight you into thinking that getting rid of them is a bad thing. They're absolutely cuckoo. Victim blaming a dead child. Body found in North Carolina believed to be missing 13-year-old. Not surprised she was looking for something, judging by her slightly suggestive pictures she found out. So let me get this straight, this 13-year-old has been found dead, unresponsive, and someone has commented, not surprising, she was looking for something, judging by her slightly suggestive pictures. Are we looking at the same pictures? That looks like a happy 13-year-old who's now dead, and you're commenting, nah. That commenter just outed themselves as a pedo, exactly, and a freak. Like, I'm so sorry, what about that is suggestive? It's a 13-year-old. The hell, what kind of person thinks those pictures are suggestive? One who's attracted to children. So he's basically just exposed himself, what a freak.
Peekaboo!
Ew.
What's
Ew.
wrong with you? Peekaboo!
Ew.
Hey kiddo. Peekaboo! What you doing? Hey kiddo.
What is wrong with you?
How you doing?
Hi.
Peekaboo!
What?
If you don't know anything about that guy, he's basically a YouTube prankster. I think that was posted years ago. The whole point of them videos is that he's meant to go up to kids, pretend to flash, but actually he's wearing a t-shirt saying like, don't do drugs. However, it's still not funny. I remember when this came out years ago, this guy may be a copycat of the original. If I remember correctly, the shirt says stay in school or something of that nature. Of course that's good. Maybe it's best to just go up and tell them that, or don't talk to kids. It's the fact that he alludes to flashing the kids is the weird thing. Like, it's not normal, you don't do that. What does his shirt say? The OG prank said don't do drugs. I think this is a per remake. Roman Atwood did this like 9 years ago. It doesn't matter if it was done years ago, it still shouldn't have been done. Like, you don't do that, that's weird. Honestly, if I were a parent, I would call the police and basically say, yeah, there's a man pretending to flash the kids, arrest him. I cheated on all 7 of my long-term boyfriends. Somehow this is now seen as wrong or bad, when in reality it's one of the best things to do as a girl. If your BF won't obey you mindlessly and accept that he's below you, cheating him and make him cry so he gets the point. Okay, so I won't lie, I got a feeling that is a rage bait tweet. Looking at the username tells us everything we need to know. Just stupid rage bait, yeah, just like I assumed. I've actually noticed I've seen a load of rage bait on Twitter recently. Like, it's gotten really, really bad. And to be fair, it makes a lot of sense because now you can get AdSense on Twitter. So people post stuff to piss people off in exchange for money.
Vehicles are they?
To be honest, I don't blame her. Put it this way, if a customer's screaming at you, just put the phone down. Yes, normalize hanging up and rude customers. I don't work in customer service anymore, but yes. I mean, Daniela, I'm with you. I've never worked there and I don't want to. But if a customer were rude to me, I'd be putting the phone down or putting them on mute. In Europe, you're not forced to put up with rude customers politely, I've been told. You can sass right back or kick them out. I mean, that should be the rule in every country and every store. If a customer's rude to you, give the rudeness back to them, kick them out and don't talk to them.
I used to work at this ice cream shop that had a policy. If you brought your own bananas on Thursdays, you got 50% off an ice cream sundae. And I had this family come in and they had 2 kids and they brought 4 bananas. And the dad gets to the counter, puts the bananas down and says, we'll have 2 sundaes, 2 bananas in each sundae. And it's kind of a lot of banana, but I'm not judging. And hey, fruit's good for you, right? So take the bananas, go to make the sundaes. And when I'm done, I bring them back to the family to ring them up. And I say, that will be $5. And the dad says, nice try, but it's Thursday. And I said, yeah, it's half off today. These are normally $5 a piece. And he's getting agitated and he says, no, it's 50% off if you bring your own banana. And we brought 2 bananas per Sunday, so that means we don't pay anything. And I said, I don't really think that's how it works. And he says, you don't think that's how math works? And I say, well, no. I just don't think that's what the sign means. And that makes him very angry. And I was 14 at the time, and if I'm afraid of confrontation now, I was absolutely terrified then. So I'm just kind of shaking. And he says, well, let's think about this. What's 10 minus 50% times 2? And I say, I don't know. And he says, it's 0. That's the answer. And listen, numbers have never really been my thing, but I'm trying to see where he's coming from. And I think about it and I say, listen, even if that was how it worked, I still think it would actually be $2.50. And that really pisses him off. And he says, let me talk to your manager. And I say, okay, but my manager was on her smoke break. So the dad's getting like red in the face. The little kid started crying. And I end up just saying, you can have the sundaes. Have a nice evening. So they leave. And that night I'm doing the till reconciliation with my manager who took like 6 smoke breaks an hour. And we were $5 short. So I ended up paying for their sundae with my own money. And at the time I was making $5.15 an hour. So that was basically an entire hour worth of wages. So anyways, I really hope those little kids enjoyed their sundae and that they grew up to be absolutely nothing like their father.
First of all, screw that favor. And second of all, screw your manager. Where was your manager? The whole point of being a manager is that you're meant to be there to manage. You're not meant to be smoking your life away. Sometimes my dad will tell me stories about how he outsmarted businesses and I'm like, they definitely just wanted you to get out. Jocelyn, I'm so sorry. Dad's probably a lovely guy, however he seems horrible. The businesses probably know exactly what he's doing. They just don't want to deal with him, so they let him get his way. Based on his logic, if he brought 6 bananas, you'd have to pay him. Unreal. Exactly, and keep in mind, this is over $5. $5! This should be in an extreme cheapskates video. 50% is also such a huge discount already. It is definitely a generous discount for some delicious ice cream. He's literally doing this over ice cream. $5 worth as well. Like, it makes you think, what happened and why are they like that? Are they just angry or maybe misogynistic because it's a woman? I really hope his kids turn out to be the complete opposite of him. Prankster tricks vegans into eating meat.
Are you vegan?
Yeah.
Would you like to try our vegan chicken?
May I see it first?
Yeah. Why are you eating it like that?
Because I don't trust
You don't trust me?
you. No.
Damn.
I don't eat animal.
You're vegan,
Yes.
so you can eat chicken.
No. Is this chicken?
Yeah.
That's just not funny though.
Yeah, I don't work for a restaurant. I'm just feeding vegetarian people chicken. Tastes good though, no? Can we get an opinion? Whoa. I'm trying to convert vegans. I got us some Popeyes. I'm just trying to get people to eat more meat.
Why'd you did that? I told
Because
you I'm
I don't
not
like
vegan.
vegans. I don't like vegans. I have beef with you guys, which is kind of ironic.
I'm gonna call the police.
Wait, hold on.
Call the police.
Look, now it's fair.
Yet again, pranksters like that just aren't funny. They need to be shot. Fun fact, not every vegan is a vegan just because they don't like eating meat. It could be due to actually being allergic to meat. Bet you didn't think about that, did you? This reminds me of that guy who gave toothpaste Oreos to homeless people. Somebody should give him the same punishment for that prank. Honestly, somebody should just smack him. A few videos ago, we actually watched a prankster go up and try to kiss somebody and they ended up getting an uppercut. So maybe we should start doing that to more people. This is a crime, by the way. Deceiving people about what you're feeding them is criminal for a good reason. You don't know what they could be allergic to. This is equivalent to spiking. Exactly, but that idiot isn't gonna realize that. He thinks people are just vegan because they don't like eating animals. It literally could be because they're allergic to meat. But as per usual, they don't think about that. And yet again, he's lucky that that guy only threatened to call the police. If it was somebody else, it could end up smacking him. Well, anyways, guys, that is where I leave that video there. Please never ever be like any of these people. If we seem to look at more awful people like this, let me know, definitely will. Here's Bigger Scrub and see you all tomorrow for another video.